Hello everyone. Today we will discuss about calcium. Calcium is an important mineral that is mainly found in bones and teeth. Total body calcium is 1 to 1.5 kg. In this, 99% of calcium is found in bones. And this exists as carbonate or phosphate of calcium. Then 0.5% is in soft tissues and 0.1% in extracellular fluid. Coming to the dietary sources of calcium, calcium is widely distributed in food substances like milk products, then nuts, cereals, pulses, and in egg yolk. So these are the dietary sources of calcium: milk products, nuts, cereals, pulses, and egg yolk. Then normal level of serum calcium is about 9 to 11 mg per dl. This is the normal level of serum calcium. This calcium in serum, this is of three types. That is ionized calcium, that is diffusible. Then second is protein bound calcium, and the third one is complexed calcium. So the calcium in plasma, that is about three types: ionized, protein bound, and complexed calcium. This complexed calcium, it is probably complexed with the organic acids, Then protein bound means albumin, that is the protein, major protein with which this calcium is bound, albumin. Then about 40% of total calcium, that is in ionized form. 40% of total calcium is in ionized form. All the three forms remain in equilibrium with each other. This ionized calcium is the physiologically active form of calcium. It is the physiologically active form. That is ionized calcium. Then coming to the absorption of calcium, we will see the absorption. Calcium is taken in the diet principally as calcium phosphate, then carbonate, and as tartarate. So calcium, it is taken in the diet principally as calcium phosphate, carbonate, and tartarate. About 40% of average daily dietary intake of calcium is absorbed from the gut. Calcium is absorbed mainly from duodenum and first half of jejunum. Mainly it is absorbed from duodenum and first half of jejunum, that is against electrical and concentration gradient. That is against electrical and concentration gradient. Two mechanisms are there for the absorption of calcium, that is simple diffusion and active transport. These are the two mechanisms for the absorption: simple diffusion and active transport. both simple diffusion and active transport require calcitriol. This calcitriol which regulate the synthesis of calcium binding proteins and transport. This simple diffusion and active transport require calcitriol. This calcitriol regulates the synthesis of calcium binding proteins and transport, and also a calcium dependent ATPase. So, calcitriol and calcium dependent ATPase. This absorption is increased by acidic pH, then high protein diet, then citrate, parathyroid hormone and vitamin D. These all factors will increase the absorption. Then absorption is decreased by phytate, then oxalate, then alkaline pH, free fatty acid, then dietary fibers, then phosphate, then magnesium, phosphate and magnesium. These all decrease the absorption. That is about the absorption of calcium. Then recommended daily elements of calcium in adult. For adult, it is 800 mg. Then in pregnancy, lactation, and in children, it is up to 1.5 gram. Then in infants, it is about 300 to 500 mg. That is the recommended daily allowance of calcium. Coming to the regulation, this calcium homeostasis, it is maintained by three hormones. These are vitamin D, parathyroid hormone and calcitonin. So, calcium homeostasis, it is maintained by vitamin D, parathyroid hormone and calcitonin. Coming to vitamin D increases calcium absorption from intestine. Vitamin D increases the synthesis of cal binding protein. It increases the synthesis of cal binding protein. Then vitamin D increases calcium reabsorption along with phosphate. Increases calcium reabsorption along with phosphate from renal tubules. Then coming to parathyroid hormone, this PTH stimulates osteoclast activity. So, the increased bone resorption causes an increase in plasma calcium and phosphate. It stimulates osteoclast activity, so they increase the bone resorption, which causes an increase in plasma calcium and phosphate. Then this PTH with this cyclic AMP. With cyclic AMP, it increases the distal nephron reabsorption of calcium. It increases distal nephron reabsorption of calcium and it decreases reabsorption of phosphate in the proximal tubule. Reabsorption of phosphate in proximal tubule. Then PTH also stimulates the enzyme complex which converts this 25 hydroxy D3 to 125 dihydroxy D3. This PTH which stimulates the enzyme complex that converts 25 hydroxy D3 to 125 dihydroxy D3. Thus, it increases calcium uptake from the gut. Then coming to calcitonin. Calcitonin decreases calcium level. It decreases calcium level. This calcitonin, it is important in bone mineralization. Bone mineralization. Then it decreases calcium reabsorption. It decreases calcium reabsorption. Then it also decreases intestinal absorption of calcium. Decreases intestinal absorption of calcium. That is the regulation of calcium. Then next we will see the functions of calcium. What are the major functions of calcium? First function is, as we know, it is an important mineral that is mainly found in bones and teeth. So, it is important for calcification of bones and teeth. Calcification of bones and teeth. Second function is, it plays an important role in blood coagulation. Blood coagulation. Next one is muscle contraction. Muscle contraction. Here it increases the action of actin and myosin. Next function is, it has a role in neuromuscular transmission. Neuromuscular transmission. Next function, it plays an important role as secondary or tertiary messenger in hormone action. Secondary or tertiary messenger in hormone action. And it has a role in permeability of gap junctions. Permeability of gap junctions. Then this normal excitability of heart is calcium ion dependent. Excitability of heart, that is also dependent on calcium. Then calcium is responsible for release of certain hormones like insulin, PTH, that is parathyroid hormone, and vasopressin. The next function is for the activation of certain enzymes. For example, adenylate cyclase, calcium magnesium ATPase, then pyruvate carboxylase, then pyruvate kinase, glycogen synthase. These are the common enzymes. So calcium is required for the activation of these all enzymes. Then it is also involved in secretory processes. So these are the important functions of calcium. So let's see the clinical significance of calcium. Clinical significance. So the normal serum level is 9 to 11 mg per dl. Mainly two conditions are there: hypercalcemia and hypocalcemia. Hypercalcemia and hypocalcemia. When the serum calcium level exceeds 11 mg per dl, if it exceeds 11 mg per dl, it is known as hypercalcemia. Main causes of hypercalcemia include primary hyperparathyroidism, then bone tumors, then malignancy, then parathyroid tumor, then excess vitamin D or vitamin A. Excess vitamin D or vitamin A. These are the common causes of hypercalcemia. Symptoms include polyuria, polydipsia, then renal stones, then confusion, depression, etc. These are the common symptoms of hypercalcemia. Coming to hypocalcemia, when the serum level is less than 8.5 mg per dl, this is known as, that condition is known as hypocalcemia. Major causes include hypoalbuminemia, deficiency of vitamin D, that is rickets and osteomalacia, deficiency of vitamin D, then hypoparathyroidism, then osteoporosis, renal failure, then hypocalcemia, then increased calcitonin. These are the common causes of hypocalcemia. Coming to the symptoms of this hypocalcemia, main symptoms include tetany, then convulsions, muscle cramps, seizures, neuromuscular irritability, then spasm. These are the common symptoms of hypocalcemia. When the serum level will be when it is less than 7 mg per dl, serum level is less than 7 mg per dl, it is known as tetany. It's less than 7 mg per dl. It is known as tetany. This tetany, it is characterized by spasms of hand, feet, then cramps, then overactive neurological reflexes. Then two signs are there in this tetany, that is Shostak sign. Shostak and Trausius. Shostak and Trausius signs. These signs are the two provocative tests for the diagnosis of latent tetany. So this is about calcium. This is today's topic. Thank you for watching.